Hello again. So at this point I have gone ahead to draw my lines out. Okay, so I'm just going to label my lines. I've gone ahead to draw them. This is my bust point, okay, BP. This is my under bust, so just write it as UB, and this is my waist line, and of course this is the hemline of whatever it is I want to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the measurements that I used. Okay, so from my shoulder, or the starting line, which is going to be here, from this point to my bust point, I use 11 inches. So my shoulder to bust is 11 inches, while my shoulder to under bust is 14 inches. My shoulder to waist in front is 17 inches, and then I just added 2 inches for the hemline. You can make your hemline whatever it is that you want to make it. All right, okay, so right now we're going to go ahead and take like the neckline, shoulder and armhole measurements, pretty much what you do when you want to make your basic bodice pattern. Okay, I hope we're following. All right. Okay, so from the center I'm going to just take a standard 3x3 neckline. Okay, so the width or the wideness, however you want to say it, is 3 inches, and of course the depth of our neckline, we will make it 3 inches as well. Okay, having done that, I'll just use my curve to connect these points together. All right, okay, so having done that, next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is to impute my shoulder measurements. My shoulder measurement is 16 inches. I'm going to mark 8. All right, 8 inches on my shoulder, and I'm going to connect that point to the neckline with a slant. To get my slant, that's what is also called the shoulder slope, will come down by 1 inch. All right, okay, so this is basically what you're going to do if you are drafting your basic bodice pattern. All right, so I'll just connect these lines together. Okay, next thing we're going to do now is to get our armhole. I told you guys in my previous videos that what I do for myself, if I'm making for myself, my bust is 40 inches. If I'm making for myself, I go from that starting line and I measure 8.5 inches. Okay, you can measure 9. Some people say you can come up from the top of your bust point line by 2 inches. If you want to do that, go, feel free. Okay, I'll just advise that if your bust is like smaller than 40 inches, if you are like 38, 35, 34, you can measure from the starting line, you can measure 8 inches. Okay, or you can measure 8 or 7.5. okay, for myself, like I have explained, I'm going to take 8.5 from that starting line. If you're also 40 like me, you can take 9, but I think 8.5 works perfectly for me. All right, so this is me marking 8.5. I'm just going to take a straight line from that point. Let me just impute my measurement so that my line will be very straight. Okay, so I would connect this. Please forgive me, I have a 1-year-old. Okay, you'll be hearing his voice most of the time. All right, this is an 11-month-old, or not a 1-year-old. Okay, moving on, I will just get this line. So this is my armhole line. It's also called the chest line. I've gotten into. You can go ahead and label it as the chest line. All right, having done that, the next thing we're going to do is to get the armhole curve. All right, so how are we going to get this armhole curve right now? You're going to measure and get the midpoint of your armhole curve. So this is the midpoint. I hope you can see it. And this midpoint will come inside by half of an inch. I hope we can see that. This is half of an inch that came in by. All right, we're going to take our curve, or you can even take a straight ruler. It doesn't mean to connect this point to this point first. I like doing it first, so people connect all the way through. If you are an advanced person, you can do that, but I'm doing this video for beginners. All right, so after you've connected here, you go ahead and take your bust measurement. I told you mine is 40 inches. Take your bust on the dots, okay? No sewing allowance. We're going to go ahead and mark my 10 inches. So let's use another marker for that. So this is where my 10 inches is. I'm now going to get my curve and connect it beautifully all the way to meet this 10. So I'm going to use this my curve part. I hope you can see it. Okay, so this is basically it. Okay, we've gotten our armhole curve. Okay, next thing we're going to do now is to start drafting our princess dart. Now you're going to take your nipple to nipple measurement. All right, my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches. So I'm going to go here and I will mark 4 inches. Okay, I'll mark 4. Now on my under bust, I will mark 3.5. Okay, on my waistline, I will mark 3.5, and 3.5 on the hemline, or whatever allowance you would have after your waist point. Okay, I hope you can see this. Then I'm going to connect these lines together. If you have watched my waistcoat tutorial, I did the princess cut there. You see that the method I used for the princess cut that I did under my waistcoat video is quite different from what I'm doing right now. All right, so I'll just connect this. This ensures that your princess cut is beautiful. Okay, this is a different style that I'm doing right here. I'm trying my best to be as detailed as possible. All right, okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to come from this top over here and take the midpoint. All right, the midpoint of this line from the top, from the starting line to this chest line. You take the midpoint. You can decide to also use this midpoint here, but you know I like being extra. Okay, and mark it over there. All right, now this line that is already slanted, we're going to connect it. Can you see? So this is us connecting our lines. Now if you want to cut out the center front, because right now we have a center front which is all this area, and this is the side front. Like if you want to cut out the center front is okay like this. We're not doing anything again for this area. All right, now we're going to get our side. I hope this is making sense. Okay, so let's get our side. What we're going to do now is to take our darts. Okay, you come to the under bust and you take what? You take 2 inches. You come to the waistline, you take what? You take 2 inches, all right? And then come to the hemline or the allowance or whatever it is that you have after your waistline. Come there again and you take what? 2 inches. Then you connect all of these lines together, okay? Are you seeing it? Straight. Okay, now having connected these lines together, you now take your curve and connect this under bust points to these bust points. Okay, I really hope it's clear. If it's not clear, run to the comment section. Run there. Okay. I'm ready for you people today. Now at this point, I just like, because of, to avoid a sharp point, I like coming down by 1/2 inch over here, and then take a curve and connect it beautifully. Okay, all right. Now if you can see, if you have eyes to see, you see that your bust shape is already out. Okay, and this is really beautiful. The shape of the bust is already out, so I can just go ahead and decide to shade this area to show you what to cut out. Okay, shade, 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 and shade. All right. We're going to now get our princess cut, or the bust dart. So we've transferred the bust dart to the armhole area. Okay, so from this point you will now mark 2 inches from this place. Now that I took the midpoint of from this top to the chest line, we'll come and mark, for example. So what I'm telling you, I took the midpoint. Okay, so you come down here and mark 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. Okay, I will just connect it all the way. I'll just connect it smoothly into the line. Okay, I hope we can see what I'm doing. So I'll just connect it into the line. So I have connected it. All right, I've connected it. Now the next thing I'm going to do, because if I cut it off like this, okay, when I'm joining my center front, let me just label it. When I'm joining my center front to the side front, this side will be short, because as you can see, it's already short here, and we'll take out this place. When you join it together, it will now be short. Now what you're going to do now is to extend this line. This line is going to come out. Okay, what are we extending the line by? Extend the line by whatever it is that we took out from this point. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and extend this line by 2 inches. Okay, I hope you can see what I did over there. I've extended that line, so that way now when you join this part, this is the side front, when you join the side front now to the center front, it's going to match up beautifully. Okay, now we're now going to create a new armhole from this point. Okay, because we'll discard this one. We're going to create a new armhole from this point that we extended out towards by. So very simple to create that one. You will just come to this point and get your armhole curve and just draw it, and that is pretty much it. That is it. So I don't know whoever told you that making a princess that was difficult. It is the simplest thing ever. Okay, once you just get the principles, you're good to go. So I'm just shading this part out so you know where to cut from and where to leave. I'll go ahead and just cut this out. So guys, I just went ahead to cut it out to show you that this part, you know, is good to go. Okay, next thing we're going to do now is to take our body measurements. Okay, to take our body measurements, please, it is advisable for you not to cut yours before you take your body measurements. Okay, don't cut yours. I'm already a pro. This is how I do mine. I even take it out separately and just cut, but because of beginners, while this is still here, all right, while you still have everything, you're going to go ahead and cut your put in your body measurements. All right, so my bust point, like I've said, is 40 inches. I'm just going to go ahead and add 2 inches extra. So this is 10 plus 2, that is 12 inches. I'll just go ahead and add the 12 over here. I'll go ahead and add the same 12 on this bust point, all right, on the chest line, sorry. Okay, I'll add it, and my under bust is 33 inches. Okay, 33 inches divided by 4 is 8.25. okay, so I'm going to go and add and put my 8.25, and of course I'm going to add 8.25. I'm going to add 2 inches for this to replace for this part that's not here again. Okay, so this 8.25, I'll add 2 inches to replace. Okay, and of course, and final 2 inches for sewing allowance. Okay, and of course I'll mark the same down, so I'll just mark it straight down. All right, straight down. So just go ahead and put in your body measurements and you'll be fine. All right, so just go ahead and cut right now. Cut. Where's so this is what we have. Okay, when you've cut out the front, we're going to go ahead and cut the back. All right, thank you. So for the back, I have gone ahead to just lay out some things. I took my neckline, I came down by 1.5 inches, and of course the width is the same with the front, which is 3 inches. I did the exact same thing I did in front and came down by 1 on the shoulder to get the slope, which I connected back, and I got my armhole the exact same way. I've done this a lot on my channel, guys. Go and watch some videos, okay, and come back if you not still understand, or just go back to what we've done and just get it. Okay, now before that, we'll take our 1.5 inches measurement. Okay, for the zipper allowance, we'll go ahead and label it as such. Okay, all right, mark this. If you are still here at this point, come on, I've tried now. Like, comment, subscribe. Okay, watch my videos and learn. That's pretty much it. That's why I'm here. I'm here for you. If you have video requests, this is the time to do that. So click. All right, type. All right, God bless you. Now the difference between the front and the back is that there is no bust point, there's no under bust. Okay, because the back is flat, does not have all those curves that the front has. All right, now Having done that, having said that, I would now draft the back. Okay, I've gone ahead to get the waistline and of course the hemline, and I ran a straight line through. We're going to get our dart. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and extend this chest line all the way through. Okay, that's the first thing that we do. Extend that chest line, right? Okay, so after I've extended it, I'll go and impute my dart measurements. Okay, I told you my nipple to nipple is 8 inches divided by 2, that is 4. So I just go and mark it over here and do the same here, and of course mark the same 4. Okay, I hope we can see the lines. I will just run a straight line all the way through. All right, and at this point I'll go on and take my darts. That is half inch on both sides. Okay, half inch here, half inch here. I hope you can see it. Let me not use my big head to block. Half inch on both sides, and we'll connect it all the way to the top. So having done that, this is for your back bodies. Okay, if you just want a plain back, normal back bodies, you can do this, but you can take it a step further if you want it to be connected. If you want it to have like a princess cut at the back too, okay, you just go ahead and take your curve and just connect it to the center of your armhole. I hope it's clear. Okay, so that's what I'm just going to go ahead and do. Now you can just put in your body measurements right now and end this. Okay, but if you want it to have a princess cut too at the back, you go ahead and just do it like this. If the back does not have problems, okay, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to cut this out. Okay, when I cut it out, I'll put an allowance for joining it back on my on the fabric. Okay, I'll put an allowance for joining it back on the fabric. So right here I've put in my 40 inches, okay, for my bust. Please, if we're going to take the body measurement, anything we're taking is going to end right here. All right, this line should not extend past this line. I hope you can see what I'm showing. Okay, so this is my bust point 10. Then I'll just go ahead and add 2 inches for joining allowance or seam allowance. Okay, so I'll just mark that and come down to my waist point. My waist is 33 inches, which is 8.25. Okay, come here and mark 8.25 and add 1 inch to replace this one that we just removed from here, from the dart. And I'll do the same thing to my hemline. Okay, I'll just replicate it on my hemline. So I'll just go ahead and mark this. So this is pretty much it. This is it. And I'll just cut it out, then I'll show you what to add on your fabric so that it will not be short. Okay, sorry, before then, the waist area will go in by half of an inch, so it's supposed to be here. Then you connect it all the way to this chest line area. Okay, then connect it to this point. Okay, then at this point you come out again. I hope you can see it. So we remove this ½ inch from this waistline and kind of smoothened this place, so this will eliminate our zipper bulge. Now I'll just go ahead and cut, extend out this neckline area with a straight line, just straight line. Okay, so I'll cut it out right now. Wait. So this is how the back looks. Right now I'm going to show you. Okay, let me cut out this wire. Okay, so right here. Okay, so this is how it is now. This arrow shows you that you should cut it along the grain. Okay, along the grain. Then to remind yourself, you write add ½ inch allowance. Okay, add ½ inch allowance. Now you can see I cut out the dots, that triangle, like I cut it out. So you add half or whatever inch that is enough for you. Make sure you, whatever you add, you sew it out. Okay, because of this area, you add ½ inch allowance all around this area. Okay, so I'm going to just make this the center back. And this is the side back. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let me cut off that shoulder stoop as I have not done that, and cut out the neckline area, and we are good to go. We're good to go. So I'll just display the front and the back for you to see. Okay, as I remind you, that front was cut on a fold, so it was like this when we did it, and this is us right now. This is us right here. What's the second part? Yeah, so this is the front. So you cut 2 pieces here. Please keep on reminding yourself, especially if you are a beginner, remind yourself to cut 2 pieces. Cut 2 pieces. Just write cut times 2. All right, that's what you would remember when you look at it. Okay, cut 2 pieces of this back, and then because it's on the fold, you would have successfully cut out all the pieces that you need for the front. I really hope this video has been helpful. If it has, please kindly give me a thumbs up and comment, share my video, like it. Okay, thank you very much for enjoying yourself in this video. I love you. I still remain that Naija Taylor. God bless you abundantly. Amen. Bye.